We, the jury in above entitled action, find the defendant, Calvin Brodus, not guilty of the crime of murder in the first degree.
Here comes the rain again, falling on my head like a memory.
Hello, how are you? Welcome and welcome back to my channel, guys. I'm here with a little update surrounding the Seattle Storm, that is the WNBA's Seattle Storm team. Okay, when it comes to their ongoing investigation that has been launched about a couple of weeks ago due to allegations against the team coaching staff about harassment and the bullying of its players. This is a source from Sports Illustrated titled, "Investigation of Seattle Storm Coaching Staff Concludes with No Violations Found." On November 15th, Chicago Sun-Times reporter Annie Costabile wrote an article that alleged the Seattle Storm coaching staff was under investigation for alleged player mistreatment. This is a law firm hired by the team is looking into accusations of alleged harassment and bullying tied to on-court performance against the coaching staff during the 2024 season, Costabile wrote. The allegations stem from incidents that happened at practice and during games. An email from the law firm obtained by the Sun-Times showed the investigation had been active for at least 2 weeks. This investigation felt like the first domino to fall for the Storm, who have experienced what appears to be dissension between Seattle players this offseason. However, a December 4th ESPN article from Kevin Pelton conveys that the investigation has reached its conclusion. The Seattle Storm announced Wednesday that an external investigation into reported accusations of harassment and bullying by the team's coaching staff has concluded without finding any violations, the article wrote. The Storm recently received internal allegations of potential workplace policy violations, read a statement provided to ESPN. The organization retained an outside investigator to conduct an impartial investigation into the allegations. The investigation has been completed, and there were no findings of policy violations or any discrimination, harassment, or bullying. To protect the integrity of the process and to preserve confidentiality, we chose not to comment while the investigation was ongoing. The Storm will continue to provide a work environment in which all individuals are treated with respect. This is all very interesting, guys. Again, that was breaking news about 2 weeks ago. This is all very interesting, guys. Just 2 weeks ago, this was all over the WNBA's streets, the women's basketball community. There was so many speculations. It was tea being spilt about, Skylar Diggins be tearing up the locker room. She'd be talking to her freaking, teammates like she half crazy. And Nneka Ogwumike, okay, she's being excluded from team meetings regarding, the team because she happens to be the president of the WNBPA. And, they saying like, the head coach, that is Noelle Quinn, she's actually innocent in all this. And it's really, Skylar Diggins and Nneka Ogwumike and some other ones. So this is crazy. I'm glad that, the investigation has concluded with no violations being found. And I just hope that, the people who have brought these allegations to the forefront, the players on the team who have felt that they have been, disrespected, abused, harassed, bullied, isolated, and set aside. Hopefully they're not being dismissed with this case coming to a, no violations have been found conclusion. Again, because that saying always goes, where there's smoke, there's what? Fire, okay? Somebody has made these allegations public, and they have, made these allegations be known. They've let these allegations be known for a reason, okay? Clearly, something is going on, or something was going on. Perhaps they hashed it out. They sat down in one room with the higher ups, the general manager, the big wigs. Perhaps Kathy Engelbert had to step in, have a meeting with the player or players. They said it was multiple players who was being bullied in a 2-week period. Again, the allegations has it like in a span of 2 weeks, it had been on-court bullying about the player's performance. And again, like the Seattle Storm, they're still like the top 5 seed, I believe, right? So they have some talent, but again, like they were losing games, and some of their behavior on the court, it's just like the team chemistry it just seemed like something was going on. And they got Gabby Williams, Nneka Ogwumike, who else? Jordan Horston. Again, I ain't gonna lie, the majority of the team, the women of the Seattle Storm team, they seem like to be very level-headed, even-tempered, respectful, kind, and funny. It is something that's like, it's kind of, you just have no choice but to give the side eye to when it comes to these allegations being brought to light, such as Skylar Diggins-Smith, Mercedes Russell. They saying like, she just doesn't, she's not a good person. They just said like, Mercedes doesn't seem like a good person. They said that she was bullying Nika Mule. It was a video of her. Nika Mule had rested her hand on her leg, and like she kind of like just like looked at her with disgust and like moved her hand off of her. So it's like a whole bunch of nonsense. It's like, y'all are adults, okay? We're not in middle school. We're not middle school girls. Everybody needs to treat each other with respect and act like they have some common decency. Again, I'm glad for Coach Noelle Quinn. She was able to clear her name, even though they said like, I believe in the allegations that were, previously brought up about the team. They said it's the coaching staff, but it's not the coach. So Noelle Quinn, you know, I always like she just seemed like she's just very zen. She smells like weed, incense, and cocoa butter. Like I believe that she's not into no mess and like bullying people. She doesn't seem like to be like a very hard coach. Okay, it was that one time when her and Skylar Diggins-Smith was about to jump Chrissy sides during the Indiana Fever game, and that was crazy. Well, I guess the storm is over.